Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I have another interesting game to share with you. This was played today, December 6th. On the white end, LeelaRookOdds, no queen rook, playing against Grandmaster, former player on lichess. Okay, 5+5 time control. We have a birds opening. In this early phase, Leela preps his e4 advance. Black interferes with that. e4 now we're looking at potentially a queen exchange. You cannot afford this. Down the rook. So knight f3. King knight's out and about. And an early c3, paving the way for an early queen move. The queen now there to support e4. Well, e4 hits, sure enough. And while the tension remains, Black strikes the base point. e5, c takes d, Black successful exchanging bishop pawn for a center pawn. In general, good news there for the pawns. Slight downside, White's able to now recapture, develop a new piece. Knight hops in the center. Black is saying, I'm fine if you want to go hunting for a pawn, if that means you'll be down your light square bishop, your better bishop. Leela is not interested in the material. We have castles, bishop check, king h1. Black holds up any thought of queenside expansion. From here, queen e2 is played. If you try to challenge this knight straight away, there's knight f2. The queen would no longer guard f2. So queen e2 first, bishop d7. Now the knight is challenged, knight for knight exchange. So a healthy arrangement here for White's pieces. Pawn on e5, very strong. Lead in development for Leela, playing without that queen rook, one less piece to develop. Okay, currently this knight does not stand well. No good forward moves. Repositions with an eye on f5. What we have observed so far, early prep work for e4, you got it in, you played e5, drove a knight to the center, and quickly got rid of that piece. This next phase, I found very instructive. The pawn play on the queen side, kicking off with this baby move, b3. From here, h5 is played. In the case of a4, trying to open up the a file, I imagine we would see b4, ensuring it remains closed. Okay, from here, h5. Now we have a4, keying in on b5. This is a hole. g6. Now we have b4. Now what? In the game, bishop b6 is played. Why not initiate a capture? Well, here's what maybe keeps a player away from capturing on b4. 2-1 majority for White. Yes, there's a half-open file for the rook, but okay, how effective is that really going to be if White is following with a5? That construction, not much really going on the a file for the rook. At the end of the day, Black probably didn't want to see this majority for White, so simply backs off. Now we have b5. With b5, the a file, b file, shut. The c file, on the other hand, is half open for Black. However, how effective is it? When you have these two bishops arranged like this, controlling all entry points, the attention now turns towards the kingside. Let's see how Leela makes progress on this wing. Knight f5. From here, knight g5 is played. Now, as White, you must be very careful in this position. These pieces and the h-pawn can checkmate you. Let me show you what this looks like, making a passing move. Bishop c2 to d3. This is the mating idea. Knight g3, discovered check, and checkmate next. Have that square covered, no running. So how does the move knight g5 here potentially interfere with that Mating idea, h4, knight g3, while the knight is in a spot to shield the king along the h-file. In the game, rook c8 is played. If h4, it's not good enough to respond to the pawn capturing and saying discovered check with knight here. The knight is not a reliable defender. If I'm to make my favorite passing move again with bishop c2, note there's a nice queen sacrifice. You do not need the queen to execute this checkmate idea. Anyhow, I imagine if h4 we would see knight h3. In this game, it's rook c8. Queen e1, not quite sure what's going on with queen c1. Queen c7, pop quiz, how would you continue here? Pause the video if you'd like. Okay, there's a piece here that can do more for white. Very nice rook lift coming up. Rook f3 to h3. There is a disconnect between the rooks. Rook on h8 unprotected. There is now a pin present. And because of this pin, this knight can now be challenged, and is, with g4. Beautiful play. The knight falls back to g7. Black works with a fianchettoed knight. There's no time to include bishop captures knight. There would follow pawn takes knight, I imagine. Bishop hit, g6 ready to collapse. 2 pieces on g6. So the knight immediately reacts, and white's knight maneuvers to this nice central post. Pin is still there. Unpinned. G takes h. Knight takes. There's another pin present. Rook captures knight is now a threat. There might be a problem here on g6. Black's approach, go back to g7, and now we have an off-the-charts active white rook. Meanwhile, black's rook's pretty much doing nothing here. White is playing on 7 ranks, black 2. Every piece, every pawn for Leela will play. And we see this now with h4, h5, pawn is poison, be dropping a knight, knight takes, there's still rook captures knight, pin is in the air, nearby h6, passed pawn, f7 going to collapse, black holds on to f7, passed pawn, white putting the pressure on here at this stage, black stumbles, drops the bishop back, gives up some material just to get rid of this passed pawn. Now, what maybe kept black from playing knight f5 here? This is considered top. It's possible that black was concerned about knight captures e6 here with a fork, a check. There is a pin with this idea to save the queen. Queen g5 check, but this is still winning for black. Bishop e7, punching back, cutting off, rook captures queen. Okay, tough to say what exactly was missed. It is calling for knight f5, Stockfish noting take the knight with the bishop, and then include bishop captures knight. Now, if white is recapturing with a pawn, after pawn takes bishop, I imagine this is going to be nearby, queen c2 to e4, off the charts active black queen. It's saying queen takes d4, g takes, and now it's looking at this idea. I was also experimenting a little bit with a different move here. Rook g7, you cannot afford a rook exchange. There wouldn't be a way to stop the g-pawn. Rook h8, h7, maybe this is how Leela would play it. If knight f5 was in there, this is still an idea. Tough to say. All right, we don't see this top move in the game. Bishop f8, black no longer winning here. Pawn takes knight, bishop takes pawn, queen g3, queen e7. Final pop quiz, what is your move? Pause the video if you'd like. Okay, move 33, f5, and black resigns. This clears the way for a deadly bishop g5 pin and win of the queen. Also, there is a fork in the air. How are you supposed to handle all of this? I tested out queen d7 here. It says to take on e6. And now look for this maneuver, pinpointing e6. Okay, imagine there's still the check in the air and plenty of lines. Also, if black is capturing in this final position on f5 with the e pawn or the g pawn, in both cases, bishop g5 is there. f6 you can take. Bishop takes, the rook falls, hanging. Why is everything hanging? This is unbelievable stuff. Really impressive game here by Leela. I, for one, I feel like I'm taking a lot away from these odds games. Anyhow, your thoughts with this one, feel free as usual to leave any feedback to this video in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.